We all know Gypsy Rose Blanchard is a hot mess. You know, she did a live this morning. There's a part of the live that I don't believe is in the live that I posted. And I'm going to show it to you guys. I also want y'all to see what Lauren posted. I'm also going to tag her in the description down below because she has a YouTube channel. I took this off her TikTok so that her name would be on the TikTok. But child. And then I'm doing a spin the block on something Gypsy posted about a fake account last year and saying that don't donate to any accounts, and the accounts had been up for days. And she was like, yeah, you know, don't donate to those accounts. You'll be getting scammed and I'll feel so bad. Like, girl, you are a scammer. And I believe those were her accounts. Like, now looking back on that, after seeing everything she's done this year, I believe that was her. The Cameo too, she said it wasn't her. I don't care what nobody says. I'll take it to the grave. I think it was her. But anyway, spin a block with me and watch some new stuff. You're gonna watch some new stuff first and then spin a block. But let me know your thoughts, because I feel like seeing this all in one video might actually make you look and say, I ain't think about this before. I think it's definitely some food for thought.
Am I pregnant? No. No, I just had a kid. Goodness, no. Yeah, the one is planning. Let me just take care of the one that I have right now. I'm not planning to get pregnant anytime soon. What time is it? Thank you so much.
Gypsy Rose continuously breaks her parole conditions. However, allegedly, now that the director of parole himself is involved, something will be done. The latest would be Gypsy Rose being at a casino. And here's the casino itself. So this was at the Post Malone concert, but still, being in the casino is a parole violation. And also, people have pointed out that the bracelet she is wearing is to show that she is of age to partake in adult beverages. And here is Gypsy enjoying a glass of WINE with Ken. And even if it's just for the show, even if it's cranberry juice, it is still not a good look and blatantly disrespecting those who are on parole following their conditions. I've had several people who are either on parole or have successfully finished their parole talk about if it was them, they would have received a revocation. So why is this behavior acceptable by a murderer? This entire time, Gypsy Rose has been mocking her parole, taking advantage of the fact she's infamous, and has continued to show no accountability, no remorse, and no redemption. Even if she is on the tail end of her parole, she needs to be held accountable. It is the state's job to ensure an offender that is still serving their sentence in the free world is abiding by their conditions and stipulations, and the public is kept safe from them. Gypsy should not be partaking in consuming adult drinks. Hopefully, Gypsy Rose is found accountable very soon.
Hey y'all, so it has come to my attention that there has been a lot of fake accounts in my name, some of them even going as far as to ask for money. So with that being said, please be careful of who you follow, even if it's under my name. I would never ask for money, no Venmo. Please don't make a GoFundMe, don't do anything with money. Please try and be cautious of the accounts that you guys are following, because like my legit accounts will have a verified check mark on it, whereas these other ones are popping up under my name, and they're not me. I only have one Instagram, I only have one TikTok. I'm not planning to make other accounts, but these accounts look legit, just like me. To me, my heart breaks for you guys, because I know you guys just want to give me love and support, and I hate the fact that some of you are getting scammed. And it's wrong. I'm reporting these accounts as much as I can, but they're popping up more and more every day. There's only so much that I can do, so I really need you guys to be vigilant in knowing who you follow. And like, the only thing that I have put out anything about money is I put the link to pre-order my book, but those are from legitimate places like Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Other than that, I would never ask anybody for money. I don't need money. My husband has a really good job. I'm well taken care of. I appreciate the sentiment to anyone that wanted to send me money, but I just don't need it. I need love. I need support. That's all I want from you guys. Okay, I just want to protect you guys, make you guys safe. So just be cautious of who you follow, and don't do anything with money. Okay, bye.
So as I stated before, Gypsy Rose started doing $100 cameos, and this was the proof. TMZ also mentioned it, but I actually found it on Google. But I tapped Google, and guess what? They removed her Cameo. So I think enough people complained, and obviously they feel like due to her offense and who she is, it should have never been on there to begin with, and so it's taken down. What do you think? Do you think it should have been left up there so she can make a couple of dollars? Or do you think that she should not be doing cameos at all? What are your thoughts? Here's the thing. Whether she's doing cameos or not, I'm kind of like, whatever. But my question is, who's paying her to do the cameos? Because is Gypsy crazy, or are y'all crazier than Gypsy? That's the question. But anyway, the cameo's taken down, so nobody will be getting $100 cameos. Maybe you could hit her email, see what she could work out. I just think this whole thing's crazy. So if you know this is a joke. But I hope you guys have a great night. Bye-bye for now. So I want you guys to know about me and like who I am as a person, right? Because I know a lot of people kind of question, why does she even care about this situation? Why does it matter? Blah, 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 blah. I just don't like anyone being taken advantage of. I'm a firm believer in, treating people correctly, right? And just seeing the way this all went down for Nick bothers me. And just knowing that someone is locked away that should have some sort of resources or help, or like whatever it is that Nick needs, he hasn't gotten because of this situation. And unfortunately, he made a poor decision, but a lot of it has to do with, his disabilities. That's what bothers me. It's not about taking down Gypsy, and I want to keep reiterating that, because I think that's where people get confused about my content. They think it's like, oh, she wants to take Gypsy down. I don't. I actually don't. It's not about her. It's really not about her. It's just about justice, equality, justice in the justice system. Even just the fact that, there's a lot of people sitting in prison behind stuff like this, behind situations like this, that didn't really get a fair shot. And they had a disability, and maybe they didn't have enough money to really fight with a great lawyer. And so they ended up getting railroaded. There's a lot of people like this. And I think we as a people, as a community, we are able to be the ones to make the difference. And I think just knowing that we have that much power is so important, because there's so much strength in numbers, so much strength in numbers. And when we all come together, we are able to achieve so much more. And when we're fighting for equality or justice for anyone, like I said, an injustice to one is really an injustice to all. And if we really all understood that, we would be in a different place. And this is not the first case where I have fought for justice. When it comes to Sarah Crucent, I was one of the people that were constantly, fighting for her to get justice. And I really, at that time, it was just, Facebook, like reposting, talking about it, making sure that people would sign her petition. And, I just knew that she needed justice. Like, what she went through wasn't fair. And I feel like there was someone that was very insensitive and non-caring that was like, you know what, let's throw the book at this girl. And I just didn't feel like it was right. I also feel like there's a lot of things in this world that we can't control, with like justice and like equality and stuff like that. But there's a lot of things that we can. And if we are able to be a voice or a sound of reason to someone that isn't getting it, it shouldn't be, oh, it's not our problem, I'm not going to worry about it. And I have seen people saying in my comments like, oh, there's so many people out here
that should have justice. Why do you pick Nick? It's not even just that I picked Nick, but it's one of those things that this one is so much out there in the open that if this one doesn't get equality and justice, it sets a bad stage for everybody else. And if you know the case, I am more than open to speaking on it, and especially if they need help. I want you guys to know that I'm not this person that just wants to take down Gypsy Rose. It's not like that, I just want equality and fairness, and I think that this situation is really an injustice, and an injustice to several people, and I feel like we need to set the tone for better, because if we're demanding answers and we're demanding these things, then, they realize, like, okay, look, someone can't just say, oh, this is it, this is the reason why, and just let it fly. No, people are asking questions, and I feel like a lot of people, when Gypsy first came out of prison, no one was really asking questions. Nobody said, like, hey, let's take a step back. Like, this is kind of odd. Like, this story, something seems off. Like, is there actual, like, answers? Because, I mean, just keeping in mind that she took a plea deal, that just lets you know that there's a lot of things that were never, seen just because of her taking that plea deal. Like, that plea deal was essentially her not having to deal with standing trial. And standing trial would have really put her in such an amazing position. And, just the thought of knowing that Nick's mom was really struggling with what happened to him, I think she took a lot of responsibility for it. And as a mom, I get it, a lot of, anytime something goes wrong with your kids and you feel like you could have made a difference, you take that very heavy. I know there was some things that happened with my daughter at one point that, I knew that I was responsible for some of it, and just having that on my mind and on my heart just made me know that I really had to fix it and make it right. Ooh, that's so wide, but it's fine. I will make it work. But that's just kind of where I'm at with that, and I just feel really bad for the whole situation for Nick. Just overall, he was taken advantage of, and whether you want to believe that or not, that's what I feel like. She doesn't get to completely disassociate herself from this situation. Like, she doesn't have that right, and although, she can't really speak to her codependent while on parole or whatever, she could still say, like, he should have a fair day in trial, in court, like that kind of thing. And I just feel like her glossing over it and not really caring, and her saying, well, basically he's not my problem now. And I essentially think that she thought when she came out she'd be constantly well received, that everybody would look over the fact that she was literally throwing Nick under the bus, not realizing, people saw it for what it was. And, I know that I'm not the only content creator that was speaking out about it, but many of you, I was one of the first content creators that you've seen speaking out about it, because I was immediately like, are we really going for this story? Like, is nobody questioning it or something? Like, is it me? I know we want to believe that this is the case and she's, like, a good person. Like, I get it, because, I mean, the nature of the situation, but it just makes me wonder to myself, like, what made everyone feel like, oh, poor Gypsy, I know the abuse and all of that, but then, just, like, really listening to the story and her having, like, access to so many things and her being able to do so many things, and then all of a sudden it's just, Gypsy Rose has all this going on, I really just made this video just so you guys really got to know me. Whether you believe who I am as a person or not, at least I spoke my truth and you guys know. Because the reality is I'm grown and I'm okay with not being everybody's cup of tea. I don't have to be, Like, I'm comfortable in my own skin to know that I'm my cup of tea. And I just wanted you guys to have a little bit of insight on why I felt like this was such an important thing to really fight for. And also, I have a little brother that has had some injustices with the justice system, and fortunately for him, my parents have always had it financially to where they were able to make sure that he was good, or find it financially to make sure he was good. But not everybody ends up like that, and some people just end up getting railroaded in a system that essentially was not set up for them to win. And if Gypsy Rose is watching this, which she probably isn't, girl, any day you're willing to take accountability, you have my support. And when I say accountability, just owning up to your stuff and being honest and open. I might not 100% agree with what you did, but I would be very understanding knowing that you took accountability. I know a lot of people might not agree with me on that, but I'm just big on accountability. I'm one of those people that I just feel like, don't gloss over me, don't blow smoke up my butt, just be 100 about whatever is going on, and I'll respect it. this is so patchy. But, you know, I'm that person that will respect it. If you're honest with me, I will respect you regardless. But once you start blowing smoke up my butt, I'm kind of like, okay, we're done here. But, yep, that's it. That's where I'm at. I just wanted to come on here and say that, because those of you that are on my page that have been following me for a long time, you know how I am. But a lot of new people have been following me or watching my videos, and they don't know me and they don't know how I am. And so, you know, people are like, okay, this girl just wants to take this girl down. And that is just not my motive. I'm just not that type of person. I'm a very transparent person, and that's who I am. And, you know, I'm not expecting everyone to love me, because like I said, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I know I'm my own cup of tea, and I am okay with that. But I'm going to put on my lashes. I'll be back, and I'll show you guys the finished look. Okay, y'all, this is the final look. I hope you guys understood where I stood on this a little bit more, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye for now.
All right, y'all know what time it is. It's time for some Black history. And this, I actually think, is very interesting. I knew about the butter pecan, but I didn't know about the rest of it. And this kind of shocked me. So what's interesting is there's some things that I didn't know about Black history that I'm learning too, while you guys are learning it as well. So I think this is actually really interesting. Drop your thoughts down below, because this was a shocker to me.
I swear, every time I get on this app, I find out that something I thought was normal started because of slavery. Did you know that job references are a thing because it was illegal to hire freedmen without discharge papers and a letter from their last employer? Like, you could not be Black and unemployed. It was illegal to quit your job.
Hey, Auntie Bev here. The next time you decide to have a picnic, I'd like you to think about the origin of that word. Picnic comes from the French language, meaning a social gathering. However, when it evolved in the United States, it took on a more sinister meaning. A picnic was a social gathering to watch a Black man hang for a crime he allegedly committed. White Southerners would get together with their favorite food and beverage, go to their location, and watch the hanging of a Black man as if they were watching a movie. And they cheered, and they called it a lynching party. According to the Jim Crow Museum, between 1882 and 1968, there were more than 4,700 lynchings, but some people believe that number was even higher. Who knew? I knew, and now you do. It's amazing what you learn when you do research.
Black American Freedmen history we should all know. Did you know that Black American racism played a role in the origin of butter pecan ice cream? Here is the backstory. During slavery, after and then during Jim Crow segregation, Black people were often denied vanilla ice cream except on the 4th of July. That is because vanilla ice cream was seen as pure and for white people only. While this was never specifically a law, it was definitely known that this was the status quo in Jim Crow era. Throughout the rest of the year, Black Americans were limited to only being able to purchase and eat chocolate ice cream. That is, even though a Black enslaved man by the name of Edmund revolutionized vanilla to be used in ice cream in the first place, or Mr. Augustus Jackson invented a way of making ice cream that is still used today, mixing salt and removing eggs and adding new flavors and cream in it. Now, around the mid-1800s, an enslaved brother by the name of Antoine developed a way to cultivate pecans as a commercial crop. With it being so accessible to us, our ancestors began adding pecans and butter to vanilla ice cream when they were able to purchase it, just so they can have variety, and then it was no longer considered pure white. Now, the flavor would gain popularity among Black Americans then and even now, but few know the history behind it.
Y'all, Oija has actually been detained, but she doesn't have any charges yet. Y'all, it's crazy. This is getting crazy. They're saying she was detained because she didn't get on the plane, but she got on a plane. So what? They pulled her off the plane. Remember that part? I don't know. Something's not right.
So I have an update on Oija. So she is detained in Dubai, but there have not been an arrest yet. I'm going to leave it right here since all of y'all want to sit here and second guess everything. So we just have to wait at this point. There's nothing no one can do. So we don't know the charges. We don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to charge her or if they're going to let her go, if they're going to do a fine. We don't know anything at this time. but we do know she's still in Dubai. That's great news in a way, because we didn't have any type of information. It just went ghost. So now we know she is detained, but no charges has been filed yet. I'll try to keep y'all updated. Someone sent me this, and I really thank you. Really, really thank you. So here you go.
Y'all, Wendy Williams has been spotted out with her son, so I want you guys to see this. Let me know your thoughts. I'm really happy to see her, so happy, and to see her just looking really healthy, and she looks like she's full of life, and I love that for her. Look at Wendy Williams out with her son, Kevin, in Miami eating. She looks so good, though. Look at her face. She looks very healthy. She looks well. Yo, this like almost heals my heart seeing Wendy like this. Wendy Williams has always been such a big part of my life to watch. As a child, I used to listen to her on 107.5 WBLS in New York City. And when I tell you on TV, y'all thought she was telling tea on the radio. She was telling the tea. Like, it was wild. I would come home from school and just sit at the radio and just listen to her until she went off air. She's so nostalgic to me. And when she went off TV, something in me was really sad, because it was like she was a staple for me in my life to watch. And just seeing her happy and she looks so well, it just makes my heart smile. I don't know about you guys, but this is probably one of the best things that's came out of 2025 so far. Y'all, it seems like it's a crazy day on these internet streets and all of what's going on in the world today. But I thought this was like such a crazy video, because I feel like there's so much juicy berries in here. But drop your comments down below, because you know I always love to read them, sorry. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye for now.